Hey guys, it's Boone from Boone-Southern. I want to tell you what I found, but before I tell you what I found, let me tell you what we used to do. I've been a deer hunter all my life. I think I killed my first deer before I even had a driver's license. That's pretty good because my dad died when I was 6 years old, so I came up without a father. But all my family around me loved to deer hunt, and so I was just kind of adopted into the family. My uncles and my cousins, and we deer hunted. We killed deer. Well, let me tell you what I discovered many years later. One of my good friends that I went to high school with, and we started bow hunting. And bow hunting was a brand new thing for us. Of course, we knew what gun hunts were. We ran dogs back many years ago. We shot deer with shotguns, slugs, and then we got into rifles, of course, 270s, 30-06s, 243s, 7mm magnums, you name it, we had it. But when we started bow hunting, we didn't realize that we weren't seeing any deer and the deer were blowing at us because we were scaring the deer off. And, I've told you about smoking up, and smoking up is a thing that I do, and I always will do it as long as I hunt because the deer, it just doesn't spook them, in my opinion. But what we started doing is when the deer, we weren't seeing any deer and we couldn't figure out why, and they were blowing and they were running off. We didn't know how to play the wind. So we finally figured out these deer are smelling us. And so what we would do is we hunted around agricultural fields, and there were some hay fields there. And you know how you can we pick dead grass up, and we used to do this all the time just to play as kids. We would take grass or leaves or anything dry, we would roll it up in our hands, and we just throw it up in the air. And whichever way it was going, that's the way we knew the wind was blowing. So we would do that, and we got a little more successful, but we had no idea what thermals were. We had no idea if the wind was rising, falling. We didn't have a clue whether it was circling. We just knew that right where we were throwing that grass up, that dried grass, that's the way the wind was going. Well, let me show you some things that I highly recommend. These are called wind floaters, and they come in a little box, and there's more than just these. These are put out by Phase 3. These are wind floaters. This is nothing more than milkweed. That's all it is. I'm pretty sure that if you've seen any hunting videos, you've seen some people using milkweed. And simply all you do is it doesn't take a lot. I've had this can right here, literally, I've had this can for 2 years. And this thing is probably this thing hasn't even been half used yet. But all these wind floaters do, you pick up a little milkweed like this, and you just simply let it go. And there it goes. And it will tell you which way the wind's blowing. Of course, that's obvious. But it will also detect the thermals, whether it is rising or whether it is falling. It gives you a better understanding of how the wind and what the wind's doing and how to play the wind. So I highly recommend these wind floaters. Um, these are amazing little tools. So I'm gonna make a correction. I said I had had these for a couple of years. I actually bought this can right here in 2022. Of course, everybody orders everything off Amazon, and I ordered these off of Amazon in 2022. These are today. I just checked this before I came out to talk to you. These are $9.97. 997. I've had this since 2022, and this is going to help you be a success in the deer woods. You can't beat this deal. I would highly recommend this. This is going to tell you, yes, I do smoke up. And you're probably saying, well, why do you smoke up if you're going to play the wind? I do it both ways. If I want to be successful, now I killed two very good deer last year. Both of them were 8 points, but both of them were at least 4.5 years old. I played the wind and I smoked up at the same time. Neither one of those deer had a clue that I was watching them the entire time. They never had a clue. So if you want to be successful, smoke up and use these wind floaters. It's extremely simple. We've got a slight breeze today. You can see they're kind of moving in the wind. But all you do, and I'm going to back up, all you do is you pull these things out and you simply release them. And they just float away. And they tell you whether the wind is going east, west, north, or south. They'll tell you if the thermals are falling, if they're rising, whatever they're doing. You just pull these things out. One more because I need some for hunting season. But there they go. And I can tell that the wind is steady out of the southeast right now, and it's staying steady. It's not falling or it's not rising. So automatically, this is a long range wind and thermal indicator. You want to be successful? I highly recommend these. Listen, we have to do everything we can to be more successful in the deer woods. And I've said it before. We're walking into their living room. We're walking into their bedroom. They know everything about their surroundings. Um, just put a trail camera up, and I tried to hide the trail camera, kind of put it back off the trail. I had a buck come in, actually my target buck, and if you look back on the video, 2 videos ago about the buck and boars, um, I actually showed you the rack of the deer that we're targeting this year. I put a camera up, backed it away from the trail. That deer, the first picture I got, he came out and he looked straight at that camera. He knew that that camera was not supposed to be there. Now, I have got one more picture of him, so he is cooperating a little bit. I still haven't got him patterned. But what I'm getting at is that we have to have every advantage that we have, that we can take, to kill or harvest mature deer. Young deer are everywhere. I see young deer all the time. We see nub bucks, 4 points, 3 points, spikes. We see those. They're there. They're still immature. They haven't got the wisdom and the knowledge that the older deer do. So it's a challenge to get an older deer. So use every advantage that you can get.